Okay. So a lot of you did the adjustment layers, so that was great. Some of you didn't do enough. You need a lot of adjustment layers. So like a couple of you only did like one, like you did like a color, a hue and saturation on the top. You want to have a lot of them, at least 7, right? Okay, and here you can see I've got a bunch. I got one here, here, here. Now here's the thing. This, let me put it into a group. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay. Some of you, okay, so here's my group. So some of you, let me not clip it. Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh, okay, so that's her face, her makeup. That's different though, because that's not an adjustment layer. Here, I'll just do it. I'll just make one. So a lot of you did it like this. You had a group. So this is like my model, right? And then you did an adjustment layer. So like maybe I want to change, I don't know, brightness contrast on her. So I'm going to go, it's this one, the black and white circle. So brightness contrast. And then you want to change the numbers. So currently I did a brightness contrast, but it's not changing anything yet. So you want to go over here to your properties and you want to adjust it. So brightness, notice that it's affecting everything, right? It's affecting the tree and the background. Basically, this adjustment layer affects everything underneath it, okay? Now, some of you did it like this, and this is actually correct. This is correct. But it's only one of the correct ways. You need to do all 3 correct ways, right? So a lot of you did it like this. You're like, I only want this flower to be brighter. So what you would do is, like you would select the area, or you would make a mask. See, it has a mask right here. It has a mask, but the problem is it's all filled with white. So it's not hiding anything. But what you did was you painted black, like you painted black out here. And that's correct. So watch, I'll show you. I'm going to inverse my, I got to do it a different way, but you would have done it a different way. But I'm just going to inverse, I'm going to fill with black. It's hard to see, but there's a little white spot there. The white spot is right here. So if I hide this, the adjustment layer is only affecting this part of this layer. So that's good. That's correct. That's one of the correct ways. And this one is called, let's look at the handout. Oh, I'm so stupid. Okay, let's go back. Do I have a test student? I have a test student. So let's see here. So this is project 3. Okay, we'll go here. Let's look at the rubric. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, let's look at a student that did really well on it. And let's not embarrass her. Let's pretend we don't see her name. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Okay. So so here are our adjustment layers. We need one with adjustment layer limited by masking. You need, dude, I need to see the full rubric. You need 3 of them. So she only had 2, so she got 6 out of 9. So you need 3 of these. So let's go back. So let's go back here. So this one is, it's adjusted. I painted in that mask. Let's look at, gosh, I wish this was easier. Here, this red is affecting her whole body. You can see it's affecting, this is a, what is this? This is a, it's a solid color layer, but it's a clipping mask. It's changing her color. So it's affecting everything. So what I did was, there was a mask, and I painted black where, like, I didn't want to see the red on her skin, but only on her dress. So I went like this. I went, you know, there's a little blob where her head was. Now, obviously this is sloppy, but you can see that the red is not affecting, it's hard to see, but it's not affecting her arm. And you can see I'm painting in that to limit that red, so that the red only affects her dress. Like, I'm gonna go to her legs here, and they're a little, you know, they're greener. But that's it, that's painted. So you need 3 of these. Here I've got, let's see, what else do I have? Do I have another one that's painted? Let's see what I got here. I don't know. Okay. Another thing I need is I need an actual clipping mask like this. So I need 3 of these. I need 3 of these where it specifically affects this layer. So here we can see it on this picture frame. So on the picture frame, I have this photo filter, and it's only affecting this. So watch. Wow, let's make that even crazier so you can see it. Really orange. You probably wouldn't want to do it that orange. Now, before I made this a clipping mask, it was like this. It was just an adjustment layer. Okay, so here you can see this is an adjustment layer. It's affecting everything underneath, everything underneath, okay? But I only want to affect this picture frame. So I need this to be a clipping mask on this picture frame. So you position this on top of your picture or your image layer. So here it is, adjustment layer, image layer. Okay, I select the adjustment layer, and then I go option for layers, create clipping mask. When I do that, it has this little arrow pointing down, and it's only affecting this layer underneath. And here you can see that this thing is very orange, and it's only affecting that. So that's the most important, clipping mask with an adjustment layer. I think that's the one that Jessica might have missed. She did them like perfectly the other ways. She just didn't do it this way. So let's see, let's go back to that rubric. So that would be adjustment layer limited by clipping to layer, meaning you got to clip it to a layer. So adjustment layer limited by clipping to a layer. It needs to be a clipping mask. This is a clipping mask. This little arrow, that little arrow. So I got 1 here, I got 2 here, I got 2 clipping this. Let's look at this. This is my this is my flower. So let's see. I'm gonna unclip this. Oh gosh. You can release a clipping mask. You don't want to. Oh, okay. So here it is. This is currently, what is this? This is an invert. This is an invert adjustment layer. It's inverting everything underneath. It's inverting the flower, and it's inverting my background, right? I only wanted to invert the flower. So here's my invert 1. I go options, create clipping mask. There, it's only affecting the flower. And you can test it by hiding it. So I hide it, only the flower changes, great. Now I have 2 adjustment layers for my flower. I also have this hue and saturation. So I select this. If you want to have 2 adjustment layers clipped to a layer, you just position the new one on top of the previously clipped layer. Okay, so I put it on top of that clipping mask for this layer. It's on top, it's selected. I go option, create clipping mask. There it is. So now I have 2 clipping masks doing this. So you need 3 of these. You need 3 of these. Okay. And that would be this one. Finally, this is the one that a lot of people missed. And I understand why you missed it, because you ended up with the same result. You just didn't do it exactly the way I wanted you to do it. In fact, let's see. I gave a lot of you 4 out of 6 points because I'll show you what you did. And then I'll show you what you did, and I'll show you what I want for the full 6 points, right? So watch, let's see, I'm gonna go back here. Ugh. What you guys did is you put gosh, you can see it here in the model. So this is this person, this model. Inside this group, I have clipping masks for adjustment layers that are affecting this image. So that's good. That's only part of that requirement. You can also do it this way. You can select your group, and this is what I want. So a lot of people miss this part. You can actually apply a clipping mask to the group itself, not just inside the group. I want some of it inside the group, but I also want an adjustment layer actually on the group itself. Let me show you. So this one I'm going to do, I don't know, another color balance, I guess. So let's see, I'm going to go here. No. What did I do? Let me try one more time. Color balance. I'm just going to make her really red. Now, that's supposed to be outside. So that's interesting to put it inside. Ah, maybe that's why. You'll notice that when I made that clipping mask, I'm sorry, it's an adjustment layer. Wow. When I made that adjustment layer, you'll notice that it put that adjustment layer in the group. I dragged it on top of the group because I want this to affect everything inside that group. Okay, so here it is. Currently, it's affecting everything underneath it. Watch, if I hide it, you know, it's affecting the background. I only want this color balance to only affect this model group. So I just put it on top of that group. Option, create clipping mask. There. So now this clipping mask adjustment layer is only affecting this group, the model. So watch, and I can hide it. There, you can see she's more redder than normal, right? That's it. That's what most of you need. You were correct in having clipping masks inside the group. So I gave you 4 out of 6 for this, 4 out of 6 for this, but I deducted 2 points for not having this. You need to have an adjustment layer clipped to the actual group itself. I'll do one more just for kicks. Brightness contrast. I'm going to go brightness. Now I want this to be clipped to this group. So I go, again, it's on top of the clipping mask that's already on top of this group. I'm going to go option, create clipping mask. So there it is. Now I have 2 on this. So I've got brightness contrast. You can see she's really bright. Ugly, in fact, it doesn't look good. And I got this color balance too. They're both clipped just to this group. Now, you're probably asking, is there really a difference? Technically, no. And that's why you missed it. I just want to see that you can do it this way. Technically, you can do a clipping mask a lot of different ways. If you did, gosh, where is it? If you did it, if I did these inside the model group, it would be the same result as these clipping masks just to the group. It's the same result, but technically it's different. How is it technically different? Well, if you have more than one thing in the group, let's say I had 3 elements in that group. Let's say I had this model, and this picture frame. And I wanted them all, and they're all in the group. They're all, let's say it's a foreground group. I have model, model, frame, all in the foreground group. And I just wanted them to be a little brighter. Well, I would apply a brightness contrast to that group so that it would adjust those layers in that group. And that's a very common use. That's why they want you to technically know that. It's useful. But the result is the same if you do it one by one. It's just that for your grade, you have to do it to the group. Okay. So what do you need? You need, I wish I could, I want to zoom in on this. You need to have, you need to have at least one adjustment layer clipped to a group. You need to have at least 1 or 2, I think you need to have 3 of these total. So let's say, you have to have 2 clipping mask adjustment layers inside of a group, okay? 1 to the group, 1 inside the group affecting a layer, okay? Then you need 3, just affecting a layer. So I've got a clippy, I have an adjustment layer clipped to this layer. I actually have two, so that's two. I got two, whatever. I got them all over the place. I got a million of them. You probably have a million of them too. Nope, I don't there. So you need to have it that way. Now, do I count, am I generous? Do I count, this is complicated. These are inside the group, and so I got 1, 2, 3 adjusting this individual layer inside the group. Do I count these as 3 affecting a layer and inside a group? I would. But you need all 3 examples. 3 affecting a layer, 3 inside, or 2 or 3 inside a group, at least 1 affecting a group. And finally, you need, let me find another one. This one. This will be a good example. You need 3 adjustment layers that are masked. So currently, this photo filter is affecting this frame, and the whole thing is orange. So watch, I'll show you. I'll hide it. It's back to normal. It's orange. Now, there's a mask. Whenever you make an adjustment layer, it gives you a mask. I need to paint black in here to hide part of this picture so it's not affected. So I'm going to do it. So I select this mask. You need 3 of these. Paint black. Gosh, I need a different brush. My brush is funky, hard. Okay, just paint. So here you can see I'm painting black inside, like this is for the painting. And if I'm careful, I could get right up on that edge, or you're probably thinking, Dave, can't you just use the lasso and just trace that and then fill that with black in the mask? Yeah, you can do that too if you remember that. Watch, this is how I would normally do it. So like I have a selection, my mask is selected. I could paint in there. I could paint in here, so I can paint right up to the edge because of that selection. Or I could just fill. The shortcut to fill is Alt Delete. So it filled this whole area with black inside the mask. And so you need 3 of these. This is where it's a clipping mask. This is this this adjustment layer. It's photo filter. It's orange, like an orange photo filter. It's affecting this picture frame, but using the mask as well, it's affecting the picture frame, but not the picture. And that's it. You need 3 of these. Some of you had 3 of these, but not 3 of these with the actual clipping mask where it's pointing down. So that's it. I'm going to stop recording, then you can ask me questions and I'll explain it better. Let's see. Stop.